today's video I'm going to deconstruct a 3-inch cylinder shell, and this one has a 3-inch break and fusillading shots, and it's by Dunpie. It has the port for an E-match, electric match, if you're firing it that way. It also has the quick match with the visco fuse on the end for hand lighting. They come in a plastic bag typically, or this brand does, and it's tied up with little zip ties on each end. Now remember, the cylinder shells are typically Italian. Chinese are typically ball shells. These are going to be made, as far as the ingredients, you're still going to have stars, you're still going to have brake charge, you're still going to have lift. So all of that's going to be the same. It just gives you some other options as far as the ease of doing multi-brakes and so forth. And one thing about cylinder shells is you don't get you don't get as nice of a brake really as you do with a ball shell. You don't get a nice round brake, but really you wouldn't really notice it that much if you're unless you're looking for it. But anyway, let's take this guy apart, see what we have. So first we'll remove the little zip ties. And let me show you if you can see that or not, if you'll self-focus on that. And by the way, shout out to Jeff Hale with Hale Artificier. He provided me with these shells, and I appreciate it, Jeff. So let's tear into this guy and see what we have. Okay, so first thing you'll see is the cylinder itself, and the lift is a separate little baggie on the bottom, and your quick match runs into that. Let's pull that loose, and so it's actually tied up to, or taped up to the time fuse. So you can see the time fuse with the cross match, and that's how the time fuse gets lit. It is, of course, when the lift goes off, that will actually light the time fuse. Okay, so we'll pull that loose, and let me weigh this real quick so we'll know what we're dealing with. Okay, so the complete shell weighs 275 grams, and the lift charge and quick match weigh 36 grams. So that's how much the lift is there. Okay, so most of your cylinder shells, well, the majority of your cylinder shells, they're going to have string wrapped around them in a pattern to contain them. Like the ball shells, we have a lot of tape we put around them and thick, to make a thicker wall. In this one, usually you do have usually a thick wall cylinder that you start off with, but they also will do what they call spiking, and they will wrap it with cotton string, or not cotton but wax string, in a set pattern to further contain the explosion and to make your shell tight, nice and tight. This particular one, because of the effect, does not have the spiking on it. and it's actually is built a little differently. And we'll do another one later to show you that. But I thought I'd show you a basic shell, cylinder shell first. So let's cut this open. And I'll show you what is inside this guy. Okay, so let's open and see how this guy's made. And like I said, this one's going to be built a little different than a lot of your cylinder shells. But the first thing you see in there are your stars, and these are the Fusillading, what do they say, shots. And so these should be like little reports that go off, and typically fusillading will be a slight step in between each one going off. These all look about the same size, so they're probably going to be a lot of them going off about the same, although there's some bigger in there, so you should have a little time in between. They also have black powder coated rice hulls inside. So let's dump this out, and I'll show you what that little ball is in there. The little ball is actually the brake. So that's actually a little salute, timed. As you can see, the time fused cross match with that. This would also be, you hear called the bottom shot in a lot of cases. This will be delayed, and the last thing you hear will be the big salute going off. And so that's pretty interesting. That's what that is. But as you can see, the rest of the shell is just simply the rice hulls and the loose little stars, which should just be little reports. Now, down inside if you can pick that up, I don't know if you can or not, but all it is the time fuse sticking up inside the shell. Now, this is built a little differently. Usually, the stars would be lining all around the edges, like we'd line the hemis of a ball shell, and they're usually tightly packed around the perimeter, and your brake will be just down in the middle of it. A bottom shot would typically be a separate little section underneath it. But like I said, this one's built a little bit differently. They're not worried about containing the explosion as much, so you don't have the string around it spiking it. And this one is actually made with two cylinders taped together, which is also different from most. But that's what this is. It's pretty interesting. Like I said, it's just a salute with little fusillading shots, and that'll be it. So the next one I do should be a more typical cylinder shell, and we'll do that next. Alrighty, thanks for watching.